I don't really make videos like this, but when the official RuneScape Discord's down to only 5 wannabe PMods still defending Jagex, clearly something's up. Jokes aside, the JMods do care a ton about the game. They want what's best, so what I'm going to try to do in this video is give some constructive feedback, and I would suggest you do the same in the comments because I'm sure some of them will watch this video and get some ideas about how they can improve the Hero Pass. Right off the bat, just something to keep in mind for the future. We just had Necromancy, a new skill, awesome release, tons of players coming back, logging in again, trying out the game because there's new content to do. A lot of games don't have that. And then all of that momentum was just squashed by the next update being MTX related instead of something cool and engaging to further keep those players playing the game, subscribing, enjoying themselves. I think that was a really big missed opportunity. This past year has sort of been a year of nerfs. First, we had the GE tax, which was overall pretty popular. It's actually made the game start to deflate. That is, more GPs coming out than going in, which is good, but it is a nerf to how much money players are making. Then we had the Fractured Staff of Armadyl and Animate Dead nerf. That sort of hurt learner PVMers because Animate Dead was really a nice crutch to take on harder bosses. And then even more recently we had a Combat XP nerf that was almost an 80 to 90% nerf on the top end for how much Combat XP you could get per hour. On the surface, these all seem like important balancing game integrity sort of changes, but here's the issue. If we look at the GE tax, for example, you'll see the price of a lot of items have come down because GP's worth more now. However, bonds have stayed a pretty steady price, similar demand because the players who buy those items have a lot of GP already, they can afford the same amount of bonds. That means there's an incentive for players to buy bonds because they go further. Then if we look at the Combat XP nerf, at the same time, Treasure Hunter still gives 5 to 10 million Combat XP per hour. Well, you can't even get close to that with other methods anymore. Instead of players being able to quickly get to the endgame bossing, they need to grind for a really long time or buy Treasure Hunter keys. Finally, the Animate Dead nerf. At first, I didn't really see any way it could tie into MTX. It's just making bossing a little more challenging for people again. With the explanation, we don't want that too much power creep there. We want it to be a challenge for players to do this high-level PVM. But then the Hero Pass came, and it gave a 20% damage reduction in Elite Dungeons 4. What's been happening this year is we're getting nerfs, and then those advantages are being given back via MTX, and that's not okay. Based on my YouTube analytics, the average player is somewhere between about 25 and 35 years old. You have a life, you have a job, kids, family, you got bills to pay. A lot of people don't have a ton of time to play the game, and they don't have extra money to spend getting ahead. And this is where Hero Pass is causing issues. It nuked the daily challenge system, which was a great, free, every day someone can get experience from it, have a quick little enjoyment of the game, and go on with their life. That's gone now, and that needs to be addressed. There's some other issues too, and I'm going to go through them now and offer solutions of how we could improve the Hero Pass so it works better for people who don't necessarily want to interact with all of that MTX. Alright, so first the daily challenges. They've been replaced, and instead Hero Pass has a new daily challenge system that takes a lot longer to complete and gives considerably worse rewards. Before, you could get up to about 200k experience and 3 treasure hunter keys from completing daily challenges, and now you get a few XP lamps and some Hero Pass progress, which doesn't stack up at all. It also doesn't work for Ironman at all, which is a really big hit for that game mode because before, daily challenges worked for Ironman and gave some useful items. Based on high score data, Ironmen make up over 10% of the total RuneScape population right now, so that's a lot of players that just got a massive nuke to their usual methods. What's the solution? I think what Jagex needs to do is revise how daily challenges work with the Hero Pass. The challenges themselves should be reverted back to the previous daily challenge system where it's much shorter and easier to complete and gives big experience rewards. However, I understand they want to try to remove some of the free MTX via keys, so I'd say maybe remove the keys and instead give Hero Pass progress. Sort of a combination of the two things we have now, but not nerfing what already existed for players to try to push them towards MTX. That doesn't feel good. The next big issue is the premier level of the Hero Pass. Right now, regular members who aren't Premier members and free-to-play players have the same award track available, while only Premier members get the extra rewards. Premier membership is already really rewarding, and it's actually cheaper than a lot of people paying membership. Sure, there's some people with grandfathered rates, but those month-to-month subscriptions are more expensive than an upfront Premier membership. So by not giving them the rewards just because they're not a Premier member, it doesn't feel right. I am a Premier member, and I don't care at all that I have that extra advantage from the past. I would like all members, everyone who's paying and supporting the game, to have a members track where they get rewards. I don't think it should be locked to Premier members only. The third big issue is the Hero Pass is really in your face. I think this one's going to be addressed because I've seen a lot of complaints about it. But basically, no matter what you do, you get +4 hero points, you get a lot of notifications, little pop-ups. I understand they want you to know the pass is there, but I just want to enjoy the game, and I want to interact with it when I want to. I don't want it to interrupt my gameplay whenever I'm having fun. I'll click on it when I'm ready to get my rewards, and please give us an option so we can toggle off all of those pop-ups and notifications. The final piece of feedback I'm going to go over is the buff reward. So I talked about that Elite Dungeons 4 reward. The problem I have with combat buffs is it's sort of a gateway to more. I've seen this over the years. I've been playing since before Wheel of Fortune's out. If players say, yeah, it's no problem, reduce damage in ED4, it's not that big a buff, it helps people out, that's fine. But then on the next pass, they'll be like, oh, you can have a 5% damage buff, or your food can heal twice as much. Things like that, that introduce skill reduction that's not fair and it's purchased through MTX. It needs to be something that's accessible to all players no matter what their economic status is or how much time they can dedicate to the game. In my opinion, the rewards should really be cosmetic based. You can include experience things if you want because those are just so prevalent in the game now, but going into combat buffs, clue buffs, things like that is not the right path, and I think that's going to cause a lot of outrage. The Golden Cape event was sort of a testament to that. They tried it out, it was sort of popular, and now we've got this reward on the track. I don't want to see difficulty of combat getting reduced through MTX. I want to see that through game unlocks and progress that people can work towards. That's all the feedback I have right now. Let me know in the comments what sort of changes you'd like to see on the pass. Please keep it positive. The Chain mods are getting a lot of hate right now, and they're really trying to do the best thing they can for the game. So give them constructive feedback they can work with.